Hello everyone and welcome back to round 10 of the F124 Driver Career Mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Spanish Grand Prix. And of course, if you missed out on the video that went live earlier on today, would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Safe to say, Montreal, it delivered a classic, it delivered a barnstormer, and it's certainly one that I would recommend watching before we head into this one. Heading though towards the Spanish Grand Prix weekend, even I should say. We've got a few new goals coming in and a few personnel coming and going over the course of the weekend. So we're going to try and achieve an average corner speed of 92 miles an hour. I've got no idea whether that is going to be possible or not around the Barcelona circuit. It is one of the slower ones on the Formula 1 calendar as well. But of course, we smashed through another of our driver ratings there. You can see our focus actually took a 2-level bump from last weekend in Canada. Helped, of course, because we actually beat our rivalry against Logan Sargent as well there. And having a look actually in the team side of things, I believe now we're actually 49% of Haas's kind of importance there. I don't actually know if there's anywhere we can see it, to be completely honest. So there we go, 49% recognition now within the team. So we are really delivering as we head to Barcelona. Verstappen still with a over 100-point lead at the top of the table, but we are up into 10th, so I want to try and keep hold of that for as long as possible.
Hola y bienvenidos a España. Welcome to Spain. It's a track they know oh so very well. It still remains a very important free practice session though.
Here we are then, obviously back on the Barcelona circuit. This venue, actually one of the hardest inside F123, simply because you had to really compromise your run through the final couple of corners. However, I feel like on this year's game, hopefully it's going to be a little bit easier, of course, where you've now got so much more front end grip naturally within the cars. Sad news though, of course, tomorrow is going to be the last day of double uploads of this series. I, just want to say the support so far has been absolutely mind-blowing as well. Happy with the progress we've made so far in this series. But yeah, come Monday, we're going to be back to one video a day. It would be nice to see sun and, go outside and touch grass, I believe is the term we use. But of course, on top of that, if you still want to see 2 races, we're going to be keeping up with the My Team Career Mode as well daily. There'll be a link down in the description, and obviously also to our setup videos as well. So really, yeah, there's still going to be a lot of this on your screens, and for that I apologise. What I also apologise to is the team TYRES Simrun. Going to be impossible to achieve here. Well, it seems like the game is just giving me all of the same practice programs over and over at the moment. Tyrewear run was impossible. ERS management, though, should be quite doable. Yeah, we've got enough speed to carry those final 2 corners completely pinned. But I wonder, once we get more fuel in the car, whether that's still going to be doable. As Carlos Sainz homeboy getting some quick laps in.
Hello everyone, it is a track the drivers know oh so well. It is qualifying in Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix.
Well, I'll be honest, once again, after the highs of Canada around a circuit that should really suit our car, I'm not expecting the same thing here today at Barcelona. If we make it into Q2, I'll be happy. But yeah, first lap time coming up then. Hulkenberg only good enough for P16. To be honest, he's not much of a benchmark, is he, so far this season? He's been wildly inconsistent. Really has struggled to adapt to this all-new Haas car. But yeah, 40 points for ourselves, 2 for our teammate. To be honest, I'm impressed he's actually scored points so far this season, all things considered. But yeah, I want to try and sort of get this first lap on the board so we've at least got some idea of what we're fighting for today. So we got a little bit more speed through these final couple of corners there. Go right up to the curbing on the outside. 2 more corners to go. Completely pinned 7th gear. Use the battery on the exit. It is going to be a 1:13.3. Puts us right on the cusp in P15, when it really does look like ourselves, V-Carb and Alpine then, all very close on pace. It's a shame all 3 of us are battling, yeah, for that one final spot out in Q2. I really don't want to end up slower than Logan Sargent here if I can avoid it, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Again, using most of the battery down towards turn 1. It is very weird, of course, where really that's the only kind of proper straight. I know you get a DRS zone around the back half of the lap, but you can't really do a lot there with it. 2/10 up though immediately, so clearly getting our eye in more. And despite feeling like I've not got much top-end speed here, purple through the first sector. We're only a second off of the top times, so if you get a bit of a miracle lap in, you could absolutely still springboard your way up the order. Are we going to drop into the drop zone? No, that was not the line we needed through there. We're going to compromise ourselves quite a lot. Everyone else trying to finish off their laps then. We're still P15 at the moment. Here comes one of the Alpines. There we go. Ocon puts us into that zone, and I fluffed it immediately. Way too busy looking at my relative there on this side. I've got to focus in. I've got to zero in more on these qualifying laps. That's 4 races in a row now where I've made some kind of stupid error, and this time around it's cost us an appearance in Q2 from the highs of Canada to the lows here in Barcelona. At least I know I've got a bit more race pace in the car, but that was really stupid. There we go, Max Verstappen fastest of anybody then in Q1 ahead of Charles Leclerc and Fernando Alonso. 5 cars from 5 different teams making up your top 5, so we might have a bit of a fight on our hands this weekend, but both Haas, both V-Carbs and Esteban Ocon out in Q1. It was actually Pierre Gasly that made it through, but honestly, I'm not convinced we were going to find the time anyway. We were pretty much even by the time we'd exited Kampsa, so I think Gasly might just have had the pace over me, or I'm saying that to cope with the fact I'm a bottle job.
Circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia has been on the calendar for over 30 years now, and it has served up some classics. Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari in 1996 in the rain. We have much better weather here today for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the long run down into Turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging here, to put it mildly. There are 16 corners, but there's still a lot of drama and excitement to be found out there on track. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Bottas, Albon, Perez, Russell, Joe, Gasly, Sargent, Mr. Monaco, Ocon, Ricciardo, Hulkenberg, and Yuki Tsunoda. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box and welcome to Naomi Schiff. I'm Alex Jakes. Naomi, this is going to be interesting. Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
I really, really wish they had given them a few more things to say in the com box. The game's been out 4 days, and I'm already bored of hearing Naomi Schiff tell me the same stories over and over. In terms of tyre strategy, though, the team think we could one-stop softs to mediums here. That seems awfully aggressive. But I'm actually willing to throw caution to the wind here. I think this is going to be another circuit where we struggle to score points. So even if we can only do 10 laps on the softs, do say 13 or 14 on the mediums, and then go on to another set of softs towards the end of the afternoon. At the time of recording, I think there's still a glitch, so we're not going to see safety cars or anything like that, or it's highly improbable. Maybe if someone does retire, then it can happen, but nothing has happened yet, unless it's been me so far this season. But looks like most drivers have opted for the softs then. It is 5 red lights. That's the lights out, and away we go then. Not getting off to as good a getaway as we did last time out, but we still might be able to get the run on Pierre Gasly and Logan Sargent down in towards that first corner there. Russell and Perez qualifying sessions to forget for them as Albon made it into Q3 again there. We're getting shuffled on the inside by Pierre there. I think might have just picked up a little bit of front wing damage from the contact we made, as I thought I saw a bit of carbon fibre flying off elsewhere around the venue. Here goes Zhou Guanyu Trying to look around the outside of George Russell. There was Gasly again, like a heat-seeking missile down through turn 4. Desperate to try and make an impact early on in this race, but we've gained a couple of places then, so we can be pretty happy with that. You can see, I believe that's Oscar Piastri and Lance Stroll side by side a little bit further up the road. Yeah, with Russell and Checo a little bit out of position then, ready for the start of this one. Does that potentially mean that we're going to see a few drivers with the opportunity to score some points? See, Verstappen has only not won 2 races so far this year, has had a podium in every single GP, and he is, of course, leading by the end of lap 1. Yeah, I think Pierre Gasly's definitely got a little bit of front wing damage, the way he's dropping off the back of the field at the moment. He's taking a few other cars with him there as well, slightly wide out of the final corner. AI definitely have slightly more top-end speed than me, but when we use the battery, we've actually got a decent fighting chance. Ocon now moving past his teammate, but yeah, that little group of 5 cars at the rear of the field, that might be their afternoon ruined, because Pierre Gasly was far too aggressive down at turn 1.
Just a reminder from me, temperatures are vital for tyre wear, so make sure you keep them in the green zone.
What is that? Why is the front left at 125 degrees? We've done 3 laps. No wonder I'm struggling to keep up with the cars in front. What? How am I meant to bring that back down? There's so many right-handers around this circuit. Hang on, that is ridiculous. Will the mediums or the hards be any better? I got no idea, but that is going to be impossible to drive on. I have definitely made the tyre pressures way too low this weekend. That is a disaster very early on, and immediately means I'll compromise driving for the rest of the afternoon. Here comes Logan Sargent. Nothing I can do. Absolutely nothing I can do there on the run back down towards turn 1. And with so many long right-handers around this venue. I mean, you got turn 3, obviously the final couple of corners, even obviously Cancer as well. I don't see a way in which we can try and bring this tyre back down to any kind of reasonable temperature. We've already dropped back behind that big gaggle of cars up in front. That has been a catastrophic blunder. I haven't really done anything like that since Shanghai. Well, I don't really see what else we can do at the moment. Here comes Esteban Ocon flying past me. I think Daniel Ricciardo is going to make the same move. I mean, I cannot... If we drive that much slower that we can bring him back in the range...
Okay, mate. Engine's running too hot. Engine is running too hot. Let's keep it a bit cooler for now, please.
I can't drive much slower to try and keep that tyre temperature down. Otherwise, we're just not going to be fighting anybody here. But if we keep that tyre where it's at, I mean, it's going to be pretty much in puncture territory by about lap 8. What on earth is this? Yeah, we've got to try something. We've got to at least try and bolt on a set of mediums and see if we can look after him a little bit better. As Carlos Sainz in hot pursuit of Verstappen at the front of the field, but on just lap 6, it is incredibly early to be making a pit stop here. Just one of those horrible, horrible little mistakes that you never really realise until you get into a Grand Prix. But of course, this is what your rookie season is all about. You know, it is about learning from these errors and obviously making sure that we adapt the setup for the next time we arrive here. I mean, I would not want to touch that front left.
Come on. That was a fantastic stop. Faster than we were expecting. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Right, yeah. We don't want that much heat in the tyres, to be honest, Mark. Let's see if we can try and keep that front left a bit cooler this time. But, I mean, yeah, with basically zero chance for safety car or anything like that, not convinced we're going to be able to close back in at all. I mean, this is the problem I have with features like this in the game. Great, wonderful. Don't really care much, to be honest, at the moment, Mark. You know, I got no problem with having to try and manage tyre temperatures and things like that. You know, at the moment we are really having to run slower than I would like. In fact, we're on fresh tyres and are doing slower laps than our teammate at the moment. But the only issue I have with it is when I don't think the AI are getting the same kind of effect from it. They seem to be absolutely immune to tyre temperature like this. Obviously, it takes them a little while to fire it up, but they just won't overheat the rubber ever inside this game. Now, obviously, when you're racing against other people, that's fine, because you know, obviously, you're all in the same boat. But especially, obviously, when there's no safety cars or anything like that, it's enabled. I've seen comments from some of you as well. It is definitely a bug that they need to fix with a patch very, very soon. But with the exception of maybe Pierre Gasly,
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
I mean, Gasly's running slower than everybody else by near enough a second a lap, and he might be the only person we actually get to race here. I mean, this is just a real Haas driver career mode, isn't it, at the moment? You go through all kinds of extremes, massive pace one weekend, suddenly the next weekend you're in last place and you can't even keep the tyres in check. So bizarre. I mean, I'm trying to keep them down, but they're definitely getting warmer and warmer every single lap we go around. We're not last! Albeit it's only going to be for a few laps, I'm sure. Hopefully, for Gasly's sake, he's going to get that front wing sorted. But honestly, yeah, I think actually running the higher downforce here has completely ruined us. You're better off having a setup in this year's game where you can't take the final corner flat, otherwise you cook the tyres. That's what I'm learning. It's basically the only reason why I'm still out here running, to be honest, because I just want to try and learn about how to manage the tyres.
You've got more control than ever over your ERS mode, so play around with them in your MFD.
Mark, I'll be honest, I could simply not care less, even if I wanted to. Tsunoda making his way out the pit lane, so we might be up one more spot, even if it's just temporarily. Yes, we will. So we've been able to get overcut nearly by Yuki Tsunoda this weekend. Again, come next lap, I'm not going to be able to do anything about it. Ricciardo into the pit lane as well then, as here comes Yuki.
That sets us up nicely for the rest of this race.
Oh, there we go. We use the ERS. Oh, we're 3 wide. Yuki Tsunoda. No, that was Danny Rick, wasn't it? Right, going down the middle in the end there, so that almost got very, very congested. You can see immediately when you have to start pushing again, tyre wear just ramps up. And I mean, even when we've been trying to nurse this set, we've still got nearly 4 times the wear of the other side tyre. This is so stupid. I mean, it does give you an idea now, obviously, you know, when you see Haas moaning, say, in a race, one of their drivers, about having to manage the tyres and that kind of thing, you can totally get now, playing this game, why it's so frustrating for them. I mean, look at that, back down towards turn 1. In a straight line, it won't cool down at all. Well, team actually wanted us to box then at the end of lap 20 to basically half and half the rest of this race on 2 sets of mediums. I'm not going to do that. One, because Yuki Tsunoda then will definitely beat me in this race.
12.8 seconds. And gap to the car in front, 10.7 seconds.
Mark really not willing to let me get a word in edgeways there, but I want to obviously, yeah, try and beat Gasly and Tsunoda if we can. But I'm also very intrigued to know as well whether the temperature management gets worse as the tyre gets older, or whether it'll get better as the tyre gets older. Yeah, like I said, this is basically now a test session for us. We've come back to Barcelona for a midsummer test. Why on earth they'd host the Spanish Grand Prix in June is anybody's guess, but I guess that is what it is. So, yeah, we're just going to try and basically drive till the tyres explode. It's psyched now, new fast lap of the day. Both Spaniards here are cooking. Well, normally, yeah, I'll be honest, I wouldn't make much of a video out of this kind of race, just because, well, on paper, it's really, really boring. But I'm hoping at least that at least one of you, I hope, is out there who has watched this before they go to Barcelona in their own career mode, and has gone, yep, I will make sure I don't make the same mistake Matt did. I will make sure I run a lot higher pressure here and a lot more aero. That genuinely, to me, justifies this one. We've got just 9 laps to go. Tyres are on 57% wear, so we might even see a puncture before this one is down and out. Oh no, Yuki's found a way around Pierre Gasly here towards the end. It does make me chuckle. 3 of us have an absolute disaster of a Grand Prix. I'm pretty certain they never put a new front wing on Gasly's car either. So, yeah. And just the fact that we're all converging on each other right towards the end of the Grand Prix does make me chuckle. But I think Yuki's definitely going to get the better of me. We need to beat Pierre Gasly here. Surely I can't lose to a car that's basically had half a wing for an entire GP. As I said earlier on, I have no problems with having to drive a car within its limits. I have no issue with that having to be the way you have to drive this thing around here. What I do have a problem with is that I'm the only one that has to drive the car like this. We've seen it in countless F1 games each and every year where there's like one thing, whether it's battery or tyre management.
By 27.1 seconds.
Anything that just means you know you're playing with one arm tied behind your back, and well, clearly here, that seems to be the tyre wear. Sorry, Yuki, I thought I was clean in front again. we're still not going to give up on it. We'll get back in front of him there on the exit of the corner. That was a little bit nip and tuck. I think Verstappen as well, or at least I'm hoping he's going to lap us before this race is down and out. But yeah, what a difference it's been. Canada last time out, I beat the Dutchman to our first ever Grand Prix victory. This weekend, we're going to get lapped by him. Oh no, here comes Yuki Tsunoda again. Potentially just 2 laps to go with this Grand Prix, and that time around he's got the straight line speed. Ugh, he tried to take a swipe at me down at turn 1 and Yuki's through. That's that position gone. Oh man. P19, is this our worst result of the series? I think we finished last once. Yep, here comes Max Verstappen then. Last time out, we were able to keep up with that Dutchman and that Red Bull on a track that really suited our car this weekend. What's he doing? Why are you slotting him back behind me? Trying to stay out of the way as best as I can. Yeah, this time around, the Dutchman a lap ahead. Starting the final lap then of the Grand Prix. I'm not really too worried now what happens to the tyres. If we've got an opportunity to beat Tsunoda here by hanging close enough to Verstappen, then I'm surely going to try and take it. We might get a puncture on this final lap. Oh, we've got yellows! Someone's got issues!
Officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
It happened! And this is such a ridiculous thing to have such a big deal out of it, but Charles Leclerc is out of the Spanish Grand Prix. He is our first non-mat retirement of the year. Clearly, it can happen to the AI. Somehow, we still haven't got a puncture here. But obviously, yeah, we've learned a lot, though, from this afternoon, as disappointing as it's been. Unfortunately, Leclerc is still going to beat us overall, because obviously we're a lap down as well. But Max Verstappen in towards the final few corners of the Spanish Grand Prix. He's only not won 2 races this year. And yeah, he's come back this weekend in absolutely dominant fashion as well. There goes the tyre in through the final couple of corners as Fernando Alonso is going to get a podium at home. I think Carlos Sainz is going to join him. I think it's going to be a double Spanish podium here as well. So I'm sure the Spanish fans will love that. But for us, it is a day to forget.
They've done it then. A spectacular victory here in Spain and a massive confidence boost going into the next race.
And they led every single lap of the race. It was a light to flag victory, and that is total dominance.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They've performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
Well, there we go then. It is Max Verstappen and our 2 Spaniards that make up the podium this weekend. So I hope to that guy, shout out to him. I know I said it earlier on, but I hope you're happy seeing both of the Spaniards on the podium here. Hamilton, a decent recovery drive to P4 in the end ahead of Piastri and Lance Stroll there, with Bottas up in 7th ahead of Perez, Russell and Zhou Guanyu there. No idea what happened to I'm so stupid. I was going to have a look at what happened to Charles as well, but I'm not going to get a chance to now. I'm so sorry, ladies and gents. Thank you all so much for watching nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. And yeah, we'll be back later on, ready for the Austrian GP. Another sprint weekend, so hopefully we can have some better luck there.